Hi again. Had a bit of fun there last time, so I thought I'd carry on. What's happening is, because I usually paint like really big, like as big as this wall, at the moment I'm living in a 30 square metre little apartment sort of flat under somebody's house. I still use my big brushes because I love it, but like a couple of strokes and these little pads end up fill already. And I'm like, that's no good, I still want to carry on. And so I had to prop up that other one on the bench. The bench is just here, like the kitchen bench, so that I could then just keep going. And I had this is what I was talking about with the collage. If you can see these pieces of that sort of camely colour, that's this pattern paper I showed you last time, where I had just ripped some bits off to create a bit of texture. These are a bit tight because I haven't painted for so long. And I actually, what I did is I bought a little crescent so that I could open them up, which is what I've still got in the other house. But it isn't the right size, and because it was just a cheap one from a little shop, it just swirls around and around, and I end up having to use a bit of cloth to hold it, and it's just not working. So sometimes I just have to grip and like really push really hard. And I have a roll of this sort of Chuck's disposable cloth, and so I use that as well. I use all sorts of things that I can to get them off. If I see a colour I really like and I think, oh, that's what I want to use, and I can't get the lid off, I just have to think of something else. Oh, that one came undone easy. So what I'm doing here is going over this where I put the tissue paper, but not to create anything yet, but I'm just trying to get a bit of depth, and I'm thinking this one's kind of fairly obviously to me looking like, I don't know, a sea sort of seascape, which is not something unusual for me to be doing. Sea, lake, something like that. And because I'm not particularly fond of green, and this one's got a bit of green in it, I'm using this, and as I was talking about my big brushes, this one's quite good because it separates out, and so it doesn't have this great big broad feel about it, and it doesn't create those big broad brush strokes, and it still looks like sort of looks like it's a thin or a smaller brush because of all of those separations. So it's a really hot day, as you can probably see by my dress. I think I bought this last year in Taupo actually. I was going to say I got it from Bali, but no, I didn't. I think it was when it was hot last year when I was living in Taupo, and so that sort of covered up. I don't know if you can see, but there's sort of still some little bits where you can see of the texture of that tissue paper, where it goes in, where it goes down, and I'm just going to sort of lighten this up a bit because it's just a little bit kind of heavy. I want you to be able to see through it a bit. So I'm taking some of that off just with a dry brush. Something else that's in my other house in Auckland is my brush cleaner, and so they're all getting just a bit hard. And I don't want to buy any more, so I'll use it at the moment for this, and then I'll have to get some sort of soap or something to clean it without using the proper stuff. That'll be fun. And then I think I need a little bit more of that. I'm using the new white, which I did buy, because I was out of it. I couldn't scrounge anymore out of the tube, and so I have got some white, and these ones, I particularly bought this Liquitex. I've used it before because it's really easy to get the caps off. You can see how big they are, and also when they're coming to the end, I can cut them in half so easily. Whereas these ones, this is the one I've been struggling to get the cap off, so hard to get, even though it's big, it's a metal tube and you've got the plastic and the metal together, and I think that somehow or other glues them together, or sticks to the paint sticks to it somehow. And when you squeeze them to get it all out, a bit like a toothpaste tube, very hard to cut in half and get down and get all the rest out. So this is a very, it's still a good paint, and quite cost effective because you can get everything out right at the end, which is lovely for me. I do like that. Now we'll just get a bit of, what I want is to keep some of that white there, because I want that to be a bit of the attention of the painting in the end. It won't look anything much like this at the end, but I still want to preserve that. I don't want to lose it just yet. It might go. We'll see. There we go. Sort of a light horizon, if you like. You might do a bit of that down here too. We've still haven't quite got that depth I'm looking for, so I'll just keep going and sort of rub it in. And you might find when I do this, you might see some of that texture actually, which is has quite a good look about it. And when you put some wet paint on some top of some paint that's drying, the paint that's underneath starts to come off a bit, and so you can create that depth here. That's better, so I can see a bit more about what's happening underneath. And for those of you who have ever looked over the side of a boat, you've been out into deep water, like at the lake at Taupo, you can sort of see. You can see now it's not so blobby. I don't know, can you see there? You can start to see a bit of the other colour from underneath, and that's sort of what it's like. You don't, when you're looking over the side of that boat, you don't just see it all blue. You see all of the different colours, and that's what I'm doing there. Just a little bit more of that sort of painting with the rag stuff, which is all very fine. And probably get a bit darker as we get to the top, but that'll all come later as I keep filling it all in. So there we go, that's looking a bit like what I want it to be. And once again, just rubbing a bit darker, and I get a bit of that other paint coming through from underneath. And something else I'll show you. I talked about the palette papers. You see when you get other colours in there, it starts to look pretty cool. And that can be used for collage as well. And then I've got all these lovely colours on the paintbrushes as well. So that's where I try and find a bit of paper that's still spare. So let's have a look. What have I got? Oh, I don't like. Well, actually, that's probably a good one to do, because I don't like this. And the reason I don't like this, there goes mine. I won't put that, but it's a bit fun. Here we go. Put that there. Is once again, it's green, and you know, I've tried and tried and tried. Those of you who know my clothing work will know they'll very rarely find anything that I've ever done that's green. Occasionally, it will be khaki. Happy with khaki. Khaki is a pretty cool colour, and kind of a neutral colour for clothes. But to actually deliberately put it on a painting, I really do struggle. So I have a go every now and again. And that was a background that I tried, and I just didn't like it. So I went over it with some gold, and I didn't like that. It was all too mustardy for me. And I have to love it. I have to love the colours. I have to like what's happening. And if I don't, I just keep going until I do get some colours that I like. And then, like, just keep covering it up, covering up as much as I can. I think that one's dead, so we'll have another go here. Just using all of that paint that's on the brush. And what I'm doing is just leaving some little bits. You know when you go, I don't know, to an old town or somewhere where there's a building and the paint's all peeling off. I love to see all those layers underneath, where it might have been different colours over time. And that's kind of what that's looking like. So I'm much happier now, just turning a green and sort of gold painting into blue, back to my favourite colours. and bright colours, which is me. My mum likes bright colours too. Don't very often see anything very dowdy. There we go. I'll leave that one to dry, and that will come up again, you'll see that. And I'm just thinking there's something like that. Oh, I know, it's right here. I keep all of these palette papers underneath. So you can see I tried again with a bit of blue. I mean a bit of green with that one. But you see that gold with the turquoise and what's happening there? That's the sort of thing that might end up being used on something else. Or a bit of that, or I just leave it as paint. Who knows? We'll see. You see, that's drying really nicely now. Not much coming off in my hand. I know. Do you know? I've got so many gloves, and I just don't use them. I'm designing a range at the moment for a company of sportswear. Of workwear, and they sell gloves. And so I got this whole pile. One of the ladies gave me this whole pile of gloves because they were out of stock. They had something that they weren't going to sell them. So she gave them all to me, and I've got boxes of them under this desk, under this table. I haven't used them. Well, I've had a go once or twice, but there we go. So that one is pretty well dry. I won't have to worry too much about it. We'll find that one that I just did before because it'll be sticking a bit. Oh, not too bad. That was upside down, if you remember. Sometimes I'll turn them upside down and see what's happening. Cool. So the other one might be dry now. And, yeah, looking good. And enjoying that. Enjoying talking to you. And have fun. I am. See you. Bye.